Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a look at a new LickiLicky card. And I do get the feeling that LickiLicky's another one of those Pokemon that we just don't talk about all that much on this channel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me fix that now by talking about the new LickiLicky that is going to be coming out in Night Unison. Now, I should, as always, give a lovely shout out to the lovely David Hochmann over at Rappelman TCG and limitlesstcg.com/translations, who has been kind enough to provide the translation for this particular card. So, one of the big issues, of course, right off the bat, it is weak to fighting Pokemon. Having said that, take your Buzzwole, either of them with a Diancie Prism Star and weakness, and they're hitting 100 damage. Well, 100 damage isn't actually enough to KO, so we're fine here. And I really like the 130 HP, because it means you'll be able to take a hit from something like a Zoroark. So yeah, loving the HP. Retreat cost of 4 sounds annoying, but then we remember that Brawny Pads is a thing, which allows you to add an extra 50 HP, it's a tool card, just so long as you've got a retreat cost of 4, which you do, and then you're like, oh wait, that's actually pretty cool. And then of course, it's a colourless Pokemon, and to be perfectly blunt, colourless Pokemon, there's not much to love about them. So, what does it actually do? Well, the first attack here for a double colourless energy, that's a single energy attachment, we like this. It does 40 damage, but before you do any damage, you discard all Pokemon tools attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, and if you discarded a tool, you heal all damage from this Pokemon. Look, doing 40, not very good. It's not a lot of damage. Discarding tools, good. Completely healing without needing to lose your energy, very good. Because you see, we've all got Max Potion, and Max Potion allows us to heal our Pokemon right away. The problem with Max Potion is that it forces you to discard all of your energy. Well, we don't want to discard all of our energy, ladies and gentlemen. Discarding all of our energy makes us very sad indeed. So, we just use this attack and we're golden. And this is basically the stage where we really need to talk about Brawny Pads again. Because actually, Brawny Pads here makes this so much better. Because now you don't have 130 HP, you have 180 HP. 180 HP on a non-GX Pokemon that only gives up one prize, just at the beginning, is awesome. Then when you add in the fact that essentially your opponent has got to one-hit KO you, this makes it a genuinely good wall Pokemon. I mean, we've got a colourless Pokemon with 180 HP. It's the Regigigas from Crimson Invasion, and people are playing that at the moment as a walling Pokemon, just as a kind of ha ha ha, you can't one-hit KO me. But if you're playing Regigigas, then you're having to rely on stuff like Ace Roller, like Max Potion, to heal you when you get hit. That's not ideal. So what you do instead, you play LickiLicky, and you're just healing. And it's essentially, yeah, you're only doing 40 damage, but if your opponent does not get a one-hit KO, you lose. Because if they're not getting a one-hit KO, they're not getting a KO. And to be honest, 40 damage, oh no, it's really low. It doesn't matter how low it is. If your opponent is not taking any prizes, then as long as you're not taking prizes so slowly you literally deck out, then it's absolutely fine. Now, this is a stage of this video where I'd usually go, hey, choice band. No, we don't want choice band. Because choice band means you're not playing your Brawny Pads, and Brawny Pads is great. And you know what? Yes, your opponent can Field Blower, and they can get rid of Brawny Pads, and if they do, they do. They're not going to have a Field Blower every turn, and sooner or later they're going to run out of Field Blower, and when they do run out of Field Blower, ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. And since we're doing a little bit of extra damage here, might I suggest we have a little bit of a look at Shrine of Punishment? Because Shrine of Punishment puts 10 damage on each EX and GX between turns. LickiLicky, not an EX or a GX. Which means that you can just kind of sit there and chill, knowing that your opponent's taking all the extra damage, and you don't have to. This can add up. I really like this attack, and that's just for the healing. You're also getting rid of tools here. So you get rid of your opponent's choice bands, so if they are going up against your EXs and GXs, if you're playing any, it's not doing very much. You get rid of their escape boards, so they're not able to retreat. It's a near perfect attack. And here's the giant issue. Your opponent's just not going to attach any tools. And if your opponent doesn't attach any tools, then you're doing 40 damage, but you're not actually getting rid of their tools. And if you're not getting rid of their tools, then you're not healing. And that's kind of the best thing about LickiLicky. Yeah. This could be a little bit of a problem, ladies and gentlemen. So look, I love this first attack. I love that you get the healing. I love that you can deny them tools. I love that you're essentially talking about 180 HP Pokemon that's healing every turn. But the reality is you're just not going to actually be in a great position most of the time. But the good news is there is a second attack as well. What you do is you add a third energy onto that initial double colourless, and you flip 4 coins, doing 60 damage for each heads that you hit. Nice. Now, obligatory reference to Victini here from Guardians Rising, in that you can reflip those 4 coins if you don't hit enough heads. And this is good, but you'll often be 10 damage short. So if you hit 1 heads, that's enough to get something like a Zorua or a Ralts, and that's lovely, but it's not enough to get something like a Grubbin or a Trubbish that are going to be sitting there rocking 70 HP. Boo. The good news is that with Professor Alm's lecture running around at the moment, there are going to be far more times people are playing 60 HP Pokemon, even when they've got the opportunity to play 70 HP, so that they can go and search them out using Professor Alm's lecture, so at least there is that. Flipping 2 heads means you do 120, which is nice, but it's not going to get a whole bunch of Pokemon like Granbull, like Buzzwole, like White Kyurem, which is a little bit annoying, if I'm perfectly honest with you. And hitting 3 heads is 180, so you'll get Blacephalon and Rayquaza, but you won't be getting Bayonet or Buzzwole. Although, like I've said, the good news is that you can play Shrine of Punishment. So against these GXs that would survive with 10 HP, you are at least getting the one-hit KO because of your Shrine of Punishment. So we've got that. That's nice. Could be worse. Could be better. Could be worse. Now, it's incredibly unlikely. It is, in fact, a 1 in 16 chance. But if you do end up hitting all 4 heads, you're up to 240. And tag team GXs like Pikachu and Zekrom are going to be going down in 1 hit. This attack can add up very, very quickly. It can do a fairly monumental amount of damage. You can fail, but you can also do a monumental amount of damage. And that's essentially where we fall down with LickiLicky. It's great. Kind of. If your opponent is always attaching tools to their Pokemon, it's great. But if they're not, then you do end up in an annoying situation where you're just not quite doing enough. But that's all right, because you've got the second attack, which is great if you're flipping enough heads, which you might not be. See where we're going with this? It's so close to being amazing, and then it falls just a little bit short. I love both these attacks, and I think there are absolutely uses for them, and I do think this is an absolutely good Pokemon, which is definitely worth playing around with, but there's a little bit of skill with this LickiLicky, knowing which attack to use when, and then, of course, there's a little bit of luck with a second attack. I should mention that we do have a LickiLicky that came around in Ultra Prism that for free energy does 50 damage, plus 50 more for each heads you can flip in a row. But if you flip tails, then you just do 50 plus automatic paralysis. So we've actually got 2 rather nice LickiLickies here we can combine into a fun little deck. Although I do need to mention that the one from Ultra Prism has a retreat cost of 3, so will not have access to Brawny Pads. This is fun. I like LickiLicky. I'm giving it 3 Wassies. I don't think it's an absolutely stunning card which is going to shape the metagame. I do think it's a very good card you should play around with and have a go with in some decks because I think it could be really good. So 3 Wassies sounds fair. But if it doesn't sound fair, or even if it doesn't, you just want to say hello or agree with me or, just play around, have some talk, then let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but do please remember the most important rule. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where we talk about other games. And I think it's a lot of fun. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.